And I wanted to mention this from the Torch because, Lord, the Torch has had their share of phone calls about you over the years, a lot from your dad and a lot from other people. And here's what's written in March of 2009. There's growing resentment of Jeff Jarrett within the company. He's had his share of defenders, particularly among the people he hired or had a hand in getting hired. The locker room is frustrated with the booking. But the bigger story is there's a split amongst the TNA office staff. Those who were part of Panda Energy and don't have ties to Jarrett are growing skeptical of his performance. Dixie Carter, though, remains loyal to Jarrett. She questions creative decisions behind the scenes and has butted heads with him at times, but she is quick to shoot down or ignore negative comments regarding Jarrett or the performance of the creative team. The feeling is that if there are any management changes made soon, creative would be spared and others in the chain of command would play the role of sacrificial lamb. Man, that reads like there's a handful of people in particular who may be on the phone there. When you hear that, how does that strike you? Who do you think is dialing old Wade?
In 2024 or in
What do you think then, and what do you think now?
well, in 2009, I wasn't dialed into it. And if I would have heard that, like sometimes during creative meetings when there's a pause in discussion or we're taking a coffee break or lunch break or a snack break or whatever it was, you'd kind of hear kind of stuff. I would just like, yep, the ratings are the most successful. The bottom lines are most successful this company's ever been. Makes a lot of sense. That would be one thought. Then the other thought would go down my mind. I'll call it the Jerry Lawler, Jerry Jarrett school of mindsets in professional wrestling. When the territory's down, everybody gets along. When the territory's up, everybody's going to be knocking each other because they want to take all the credit and blah, 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 blah. And that definitely came through my mind. And by 2009, if I would have sat down and read that, Conrad, I would have not believed the narrative that Wade tried to spill about Dixie at all. And I know that the conversations that were going on, Kurt was involved with them, Vince Russo was involved with them, and I'm saying with Dixie, that look, it goes back to you could just, and look, Dutch was one that was very perceptive of all of it. And you know, as it relates to talent, there's guys that they wanted more bookings. They wanted to take more credit for the success. They wanted to crawl to the top. They wanted more money. That comes with the territory. It was, you know, I told myself, oh God, millions of times, hey man, I signed up for this. But sometimes it would just be an incredible nuisance that why do they got to create this chatter? And Conrad, you may be thinking, well, did you mention your dad in there? I don't. I feel certain he could have been a part of those conversations as well because there was just a time that it was in vogue. As ironic as it may be, hey, let's bitch about something, and they did. And to Wade and Dave and any other journalist, good news doesn't sell. Divisive, critical, opinionated, pushing the buttons, that gets clicks or sells newsletters. And that's what their job was to do because they had bills to pay and they wanted profit. So that was kind of the mindset I had on it, all of it.
Hey, help me understand the decision to do the DVD because in the middle of all this criticism you're getting, they're putting out a 4-disc set of your career and they describe you on the DVD. It stops for no one and casts an entire wake on the sea of history, but throughout the ages, a chosen few have left indelible footprints on the tapestry of time, forged a new path of their own creation. Jeff Jarrett, the king of the mountain, is one such individual. Jeff Jarrett weathered the tempest of adversity and is now poised to take TNA wrestling to the brim of wrestling's brave new horizon. Join us now as we chart the course of this amazing man and his ascension to the peak of wrestling history. Jeff, like if I asked you to put yourself over, you wouldn't say no shit like that.
No.
I just wonder from an optics standpoint, when you're getting all this criticism and then this is coming out, it's like, phew, I don't know, man. The optics of that are
So the DVD business was very lucrative, not
yes,
TNA, but to Ring of Honor and tape trading and DVD business, not tape trade, DVD business. Um, I'd say it kind of peaked in the '06, '07, '08, '09, '10. Would you say, Conrad? Roughly in that time,
yeah,
because yeah. But anyway, our DVD business was super lucrative, and not once but twice I shot down ideas of, hey, let's do a best of Jeff Jarrett. Let's do that. And I said, just what you said, Conrad. I said, we can sell DVDs the other way. There's 1,000 other titles. Do another AJ Styles volume 2. Do a Kurt Angle. Do the best of Main Event Mafia. I mean, there were so many working titles we had. But then Don West is the one who came and said, we can sell these a lot broader than you think. But if you don't want to do one, let's come up with something. I said, hey man, let's blow it out. Let's go back. Let's get archive footage. Let's do this. He said, okay. And so it was Don West. And I'm not going to say Don wrote the copy. I guarantee he contributed. Our man Kevin Sullivan could have written that. Maybe Zahadi, maybe some folks in marketing, maybe some folks at the DVD. My gut tells me that's a Don West, because Don's a super salesman and could care less about the politics or the optics. He's about, I'm going to sell this DVD. And he did. Around this time, he came up with a couple of different t-shirt designs. We were already selling, I think, guitars at this point. Yeah, we definitely were. But he wanted to lean into it. And so they weren't worried about the nonsense, if you will, the over the top. But shit, you met Don. You saw him at StarCast 1. You think he embellished a couple of things when he was clearing house the last day of us? I mean, that was his style to really just completely go over the top. So if you want to get mad at somebody, get mad at D-Dub on that.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I just found it hilarious. It feels like it's written by AI.
It's so, I guess you could say, ludicrously. Is that a word? Ludicrously?
I would love to see you say, just boy, I weathered the tempest of adversity, and now I'm poised to take TNA wrestling to the brim of wrestling's brave new horizon. What?
Hey, get it with a good a VO guy.
I just don't. I know what you're talking about. I get that. They do the movie theater voice in a world where there are too many one-piece guitars.
It sold somehow. It did.
I have no doubt. But to me, it's just like, hey, want to see some dudes get their dome caved in with some guitars? Here you go. It's the best of Jeff Jarrett.
Hey, you know, on that, they dug up a Memphis match with me and Cactus Jack.
Okay.
It gave some pretty. We did some pretty cool Easter eggs, as far as like bonus content, some Memphis stuff, a couple of videos I think with me and Tojo and Akio Sato. I don't recall, but they also they came out to the house and did, God Almighty, that was like, I don't know. I'll probably embellish, but it felt like a 3 or 4 hour interview. It's long. It's kind of long because they wanted to use sound bites all the way through it. So, and look, Don West was like, all right, what I want to do is I want to up the price and da da da. We've never done one. Don always thought through, bottom line, what am I going to get the ROI? And so if I can have these selling points, never before seen footage, the most extensive one-on-one interview in the history of the King of the Mountain, you're going to get this, you're going to get that, you're going to get this, you're going to get that. By the end of Don's sales pitch, you're thinking, oh my God, I'm getting this for next to nothing. Oh, but really,
Right.
they doubled the price. That's Don. But I mean, he really thought through value added content. He was a master at that, because at the end of the day, his deals were really, really good.
Oh yeah. He believed in bringing value. That's for sure.